What's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. Welcome to a Friday live show. And it ain't clickbait, folks. I booked a last-minute cruise, and I'm just 8 days away from my cruise, like 6 days away from leaving. I'm going to tell you what it is, but let's give it some time. Let's let everybody jump in and vote in the poll. I think I'll make the announcement at 2:15, and then I'll make it every 15 minutes on top of the hour. Shout out to everybody who's here already. Thank you, Gina Maxwell, for becoming a channel member. And thank you, Databetic, for the super chat. Maybe this is the XP button, lol. Yeah, so I guess the YouTube has implemented a leaderboard, and based on the comments, or I don't know what it is, but like right now, Mike the Naughty Cruiser is #1 in the rankings of this live stream. Again, I don't know what that means, but there you go. Yeah, not yet from a ship. I did rearrange the office today. I've made a little tighter setup here. I got the La Lido Loca back behind me, but I need to figure out a way to light these shelves a little better. There's still a big hole in my ceiling, but I'm trying to set up a new podcast area, so a lot going on today. Yeah, so I figured I would do the cruise announcement, and I would answer some cruise questions, hang out with you guys for a little bit. I guess my scenario, if you remember, when it's been how many days since my last cruise? Let's make a cruise confession. My last cruise was 82 days ago. 82 days ago, and until recently, I didn't have anything scheduled until the 20th of August, which is on the new Star of the Seas. Now, since then, I was contacted by MSC to come on the MSC World America. And it's just an invite trip where for the free cruise, I will make some videos for them. And that's the beginning of August. So that came about. And then the other challenge I've had is, you may remember at the end of my last cruise 82 days ago, I accidentally washed my passport. And so I really haven't been thinking about cruising. At least I wasn't thinking about cruising in July because I was sans passport. But yeah, so I'm kind of, well, there's been a passport update, and I'll let all that fly at, I'll let all that fly when we reveal at 15 after what is. Oh, Databetic sent a gift membership. How does that work? You gave somebody a membership? How does sent one gift membership? I wonder how somebody claims that. That's interesting. Or did you give it to somebody? Shout out everybody. What's going on? My brother Retro Sarge is here. What is going on? Oh, the lovely Jenny B. We're in the middle of a game of Wingspan. There's only 2 turns left, but I had to quit to come play the game or come do the live. I think she's going to win though. So. Jeffrey said, I sound like a cruise addict. It's been 82 days since my last cruise. Yeah, it's interesting. I started putting my cruises into Emma Cruises, the Cruise Globe. That's been pretty interesting. I've only got 10 of my cruises in, and I may be a cruise addict. I'm through 2018 and 2019 and through the pandemic. I may have more than 10 in, but even during that time, I did like, I don't know, 5 different cruise lines, 10 different cruise ships. I could be a cruise addict. Hi, my name's Tony, and I'm addicted to cruising. Let's see. Well, the Naughty Cruiser. Did you see the Naughty Cruiser this morning? The Naughty Cruiser is one of our neighbors, and yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me if we saw Mike this morning. Jen Ash, thank you for becoming a channel member. Databetic, thank you for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Let's see. Automatically awards a free membership from somebody. That's kind of cool. All right. Any guesses? I see. Let's see where the poll's at now. 46% of you say the Caribbean. 14% say the Mediterranean. 34% say Alaska. 6% says the UK. The UK. Look at the Naughty Cruiser regaining the top spot of the leaderboard. Thank you for the super chat, Mike. A little hot dice money. Let's see. If I'm jumping on a Disney cruise next week, I will not be able to use it for hot dice. How many of you guys think I'm jumping on a Disney cruise next week? It's possible. It's a possibility. You never know. Let's see. Hubby and wife travel partners for life. said the Caribbean. If you guys have any cruise questions or any questions in general, just type the word question in front of it and I'll be happy to answer. And if you could do me a solid, hit that like button, let YouTube know. Let YouTube know what's going on, that there's a live stream going on. All right, so it's 5 after, so we got 10 minutes to kill with speculation. I was like, I can't figure out why I can't see, but now I know. Let's see. Mary Dieter says no. I think I can see that screen better without my glasses. Everybody's saying no to Disney. You guys, that's a good guess. No to Disney is correct. No to Disney. How about that? Yeah, so I got to figure out how to light these 2 shelves, but I'm trying to set up a little podcast area, not only for me and Jenny, but also for me and Jenny's brother. We're going to be doing a non-cruise show podcast style called Dilemmas, but it'll probably have to wait until I get back after this cruise. Karen Martell, thank you so kindly for the super chat. Hey, Tony, welcome back home. Much love to the Jenny B. I guess that is worth talking about. Last Wednesday is when the roof fell in, or last Tuesday is when the roof fell in. The roof is still falling in. We were going to leave on Wednesday to make the drive to Kentucky for my son Andrew's wedding, and instead we left on Thursday. So Jenny and I, for whatever possessed us, we drove all the way from here to Paducah, Kentucky. It was about 15 hours in the car. Yuck. And then we spent 4 glorious days in Paducah, where my son Andrew got married, and got to see all 6 kids within that 1 week because Father's Day was the previous week. And we had a really good time in Kentucky. And then we drove a little further north. We left Paducah, Kentucky. We went up to Indianapolis, Indiana, my hometown, where my sister lives, and spent a day and a half with my sister. And then we were going to spend a couple days in Nashville, but I think we were tuckered out. Plus the plans came through for this last-minute cruise, and so we thought it'd be best to come home and do some preparation for that. That was Plan H, so we came home to do some preparation. H, I'm just kidding. It's Plan A. Sorry. There's nothing better than a hemorrhoid joke, I think. But, yeah, so we drove all the way home. Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? I was in the office yesterday. And I think we're just starting to get our wits about us. Of course, I did the show yesterday, and then I went to my local record store, Rocket Records. That guy, Joe at Rocket, if you're out there watching, shout out Joe. Man, he's reorganizing some of his inventory, so he moved his regular price stuff, some good regular price stuff, into the $5 inventory. And the $5 inventory over there, if you buy you can buy a record out of the $5 bin for $5, or you can get 5 for $20, making them $4 each. I got some good records yesterday. So I woke up this morning, I was sleeving and cleaning records and listening to some records, thinking about this cruise. I'm very excited. Marco Zaff, thank you so much for the super sticker. How's it going? It's going pretty good. Like I said, we're in the middle of the preparation H plan, and we're going to be having a great cruise. I fly out on the 3rd. What do you guys think? So Jenny B and I had this big discussion. The cruise isn't until the 5th. So I could have flown out on the 4th of July, which, of course, is a very important day. It's my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Michelle. But it's also America's birthday. And so we decided that I would fly out on the 3rd. Would you have flown on the 3rd or the 4th if your cruise was on the 5th? And especially the long distance I'm going. Usually when I travel this long a distance, I like two days anyways. But what do you think? Eric C. said, Tony, is my birthday. I do have a wish. Can you become my godfather? I want to put my time in on new job like you did. Tried fast food, need lots of coaching. Man, the truth is out there. Let me just say that. I feel I'm very lucky. I work hard too, but everything worked out. I did all my corporate time, and somehow I became a YouTuber at 47, 48, and I'm 8 years into it, and I don't really know how it works, but I'm very fortunate. So yes, it's good. Charlie's been to Paducah. It's an interesting town. Yeah, they're very. It's all about the quilting there. They have the National Quilt Museum, and then they also have a place where riverboats stop, like the American Queen and stuff like that. They have a cool wall down there that they can close to prevent flooding. I spent most of my time in Paducah at the Quilting Museum. I volunteered. They weren't asking for volunteers, but I decided I would take on a volunteer role without them asking. And so I just stood outside the quilting museum, and then after people had spent a couple hours in there checking out all the quilting, I just stood there with my arms, folded like this. And as they came out, I was like, okay, so it's funny because it's quilts you sew. Never mind. So a question from Icon HQ. Have you been on the Mariner of the Seas? I don't know. I really think I have. Let me pull up the old shipmate here. Let me see. Let me look for things that say Royal. We could go through all 60 different cruises I've been on. I think I've been on 60 cruises. Mariner of the Seas. Yes, I was on Mariner of the Seas in October of 2021 from Port Canaveral. Went down to Nassau in the Bahamas and to Coco Cay. And I don't particularly remember it, but I know that I'm a big fan of Royal Caribbean ships, and I believe it was a great time. Let's see. Karen Martell, are you helping out Don with his group cruise? I am not sure. When is Don's group cruise? I don't know. Thank you so much for the super chat. I have talked to Don a couple times. Of course, he's home from the hospital, which is good. Man, last week, the hospital series, that's what I'm calling it. I told Don, I said, man, I love the hospital series, all the thumbnails from the hospital. I'm glad he's home because the first ones, he sounded rough. Yes, Jenny B, the kids did love the good dad joke. You know what I'm saying? Jenny B, Mariner was your first after the shutdown. Well, look, if that was a Jenny B cruise, I had double the fun. So how about that? What are the dates for the MSC World? Mike, I think it's, I don't know. I'd have to look in the email. I think it's like the 5th or something. It's early August. I don't know. I'll shoot you a text. I'll look at it when I get back. Look at this. Emma Cruz is in the house with the triple hey. What's going on? I talked to Emma a little bit because I started putting my cruises in her cruise globe, and it's pretty cool. I may be biased because Emma's my friend, but I like it a lot gooder than Shipmate so far. So plus it does stuff. It makes animations, which is cool. I made a Mickey Mouse cartoon after using it for just a half hour. It's like No, it doesn't do that. I'm just kidding. 13 more minutes. Get your final votes in if you want to figure out. Everybody who guesses right will be greatly appreciated. I don't really have any prizes, which would have been cool. Let's see. Yes, I'm glad Don is out of the hospital. Whatever became of the Super Chat Luchador? Thomas, that's a great question. I switched software, and it became less easy to do the overlays. And so once I finally figured out how to do the overlays, I lost the file of Harry, Larry, Loca, Lucha. So it was a compounding of things that made the Luchador disappear, but I loved Harry. Let's take a moment of silence for Harry, Larry, Loca, Lucha, the Super Chat guy. Super chat. Okay. There you go. Let's see. The gang is all here. How about that? The lovely Jenny B is here. Where's Don? Don needs to be here. I think he's at home. He did go see that F1 movie last night. You guys watch Don's other channel? Anybody see the F1 movie? Want to see the F1 movie? I kind of want to see the F1 movie. Let's see. Sleepy Chicken 1730. Hello from Nashville. We were through Nashville there just the other day. We were hoping to spend a couple days in Nashville and see some friends, but we were ready to get home. Let's just say that. We were only gone for we were gone for a week. That was enough. Question, how do I get on the Facebook group for the October group cruise? I don't know. I don't even think I'm on there. But I think Jenny B is the admin on that, so I think you just have to put in a request and it will show up, maybe. Or do they need to send you an email, Jenny? Let's get a little water in us. Jenny got me this Liquid Death. I don't know. Is this poison? Jenny, did you get me this for a particular reason? No, this is my favorite Liquid Death. What's it called? Severed lime. Oh, Terry said 1,000 people watching, but only 350 thumbs up. Yeah, you might have to drop out of the chat to hit the thumbs up, but if you could do it, That'd be great. Chuck, man. Chuck showing respect where respect is due. Thank you so much, sir, for the super chat. R.I.P. Harry Larry Loca Lucha. Super chat. At least that's Harry's voice. But, I think I got that initial clip from Storyblocks, so I could probably recreate Harry Larry Loca Lucha. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Are you guys ready? It's 15 after. So this one shouldn't have been hard to guess. I saw the trouble that Don was going through, and at this point, we don't know whether or not Don is going to make it to Alaska. And I think he's got like 200 people on the group cruise, and we have a lot of like crossover people that watch Don, and they also watch me. And so we reached out to the Team Don over there, Angelina and Don. We looked at the cruise initially, and it said that it was sold out. So we reached out to Don and Angelina, and they were able to work out a way that I could go to Alaska to be on Don's group cruise. And two scenarios are going to play out. Now, first, I was concerned because I didn't have my passport, but I did do some research. I do have a passport card that obviously didn't get damaged. And with the passport card, I didn't realize this. I knew I couldn't fly with it, and I didn't think I could enter the country through sea with it, but I can. So if you have a passport card and you want to go to Canada, you can do that, which is exciting. But when I had jury duty a couple weeks ago, man, I've had a busy month. When I had jury duty a couple weeks ago, I also submitted my passport renewal expedited, and the lovely Jenny B let me know that the passport has come in. So I will be traveling with my passport book. This is going to fly to Seattle on the 3rd of July. The cruise leaves on the Royal Princess on the 5th of July. I don't know the order of the stops, but it's a standard Alaskan cruise, round trip to Seattle, Juneau, Ketchikan, Skagway, and Glacier Bay. And honestly, that's pretty awesome. I love going to Alaska. I've been rehabbing my knee, so I've had about 10 sessions of physical therapy. I've got a recheck of my knee before I leave. I really think it has something to do with my hamstrings. That's where the pain comes the most. But I'm fairly pain-free, and I don't know how active I'll be able to be in Alaska. But the big goal for me was just to go and help Don any way possible. So it's going to work out two ways. If Don doesn't go, then I'm in a cabin by myself. The only way they could get me on this cruise is for Don and I to be roommates. So if Don doesn't go, and I think he put in for like an upgrade, which is sweet, because if he doesn't go, that was nice of him. But I think we already have a good-sized cabin. So if he doesn't go, it's me by myself in Don's cabin, trying to, keep everybody happy the best I can. Like, I'm not going to be able to help anybody with their, if they have trouble on the ship with travel or anything like that. But I'll be there to, be there for dinners and to have some meet and greets and to, kiss some babies and, squeeze some hands, all that kind of stuff that, that we do on the group cruise. I'm excited about that. And then if Don is medically approved to travel, then I guess we'll be roommates, and I'll kind of be there. Not that I could help Don in case of a medical emergency, but maybe I could. If something bad happens, at least I can notify somebody. So, it works out a couple good ways. I'll be there to help Don and try to keep him from exerting himself, and, I'll get to do so. I didn't really have any plans to cruise until August, but I think it's the right thing to do. Just because Don's my friend, and if I can take some stress off of him by being there, then that's the plan, man. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited, and fortunately, I think I got most of my Alaska gear just already hung up in my closet in the room. So just some warm clothes, some waterproof boots, and I'm pretty much ready to go. Small camera and ready to rock and roll. So it should be kind of fun. We got a full day in Seattle, 4th of July. So going to try to figure out something to do for 4th of July and see where it goes from there. Kind of excited. FamG Thrills. No Sitka on that itinerary. Did you guys guess it? I guess everybody could change the poll now. Only 36% went with Alaska, but if you want to, you could go back and change it, honestly. But yeah, we'll leave it up there, and we'll see if anybody catches on when they come in. All right. Question. Are you going to do the helicopter glacial thing? Daniel, I haven't really looked at excursions yet. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I don't know what I'm going to do, honestly. I started looking at some excursions, but I didn't pull the trigger. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to get there and be supportive and see what's going on. See if anybody, see what kind of help, Emma got it. Didn't I tell you, Emma? You were asking how we could help Don. I think I told you. Cheater. Let's see. The big event. Okay, here's Brian with some Seattle info. The big event for 4th of July will be fireworks at Gasworks Park on Lake Union and Seattle Mariners on the 4th. So is that by the waterfront, Brian? I don't know those places, but I'm staying down by the waterfront. Hopefully he can go. Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, as I told him, don't push yourself. If the doctors say don't go, don't go. Question, never been on a cruise but would love to. How would you convince someone to go that is not too keen on sailing? Robert, I actually wouldn't press you too hard to do it. I tell people that are apprehensive about cruising, maybe don't go. I know that's weird advice from somebody who loves cruising, but cruising is one of those things where either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. And unfortunately, if you kind of have an inkling that you're not going to like it, I think you're more prone to not like it. But if you're curious enough and you say, look, I might get motion sickness, so I'm going to take the proper stuff, and I'm up for the adventure, and I'll make the best of it come what may, then try a cruise. But if you know somebody that's not too keen on it, I wouldn't force them. I've never met anybody that I don't know. At one point, they forced me to eat guacamole, and I loved it, and I was mad at myself for not eating guacamole for 40 years. So I guess there is something like that to forcing someone to do something, but I kind of believe that if people are apprehensive, they may continue to be apprehensive. So what cruise line would you recommend for a first cruise? Glamolius? It depends what you like to do. So if you like to party, if you like to get your drink on, if you like good music and dancing and interacting with people that are having a good time, go on Carnival. If you want something where it's a little more quiet, where you can take in some good food and maybe some more chill music, maybe try a Holland America line. If you got a family, Royal Caribbean's a great option. So the challenge is a lot of times people will go on the cruise and there's a lot of different cruise lines, and they won't love it. But really, it sometimes it's because you're mismatched between the cruise line and what your vibe is. So it really just depends. There's some good middle of the road. Celebrity's pretty nice. It's not too much of a party, but you can find a party. Princess is the same way. But yeah, it just depends what you want to get into. Let's see. Yeah, Bill, I went because, so Bill says, well, I wasn't forced to go on a cruise. Really, I'm not forced to do anything. Jenny did come up with the idea of going on a cruise. I didn't think I would have a good time, but once we decided to go, my mind was set that I was going to have a great time no matter what. It was easy to decide that because I was with my lovely bride, and we were on an adventure. And even though, like Alaska, for example, I didn't really think that I would like Alaska, but once we resolved to go to Alaska, the attitude is everything. So hopefully that's what's coming through. You got to have the right attitude to do something that you don't like to do. So the alternate to Shipmate is called the Cruise Globe. Jenny Hampton, the Cruise Globe. What is your opinion on NCL and MSC? So the J Stu, unfortunately with me, I think I just described what my opinion is. I think everything's great if you want it to be. NCL, I love the vibe on NCL. Probably one of the best rock bands I've ever seen on a cruise is called Guns N' Roses. They usually have a Starbucks on board. It doesn't take much to please me, but I really like that. And MSC, I like it for the diversity. I like it for the fact that you're going to run into people from all over the world, that cruise line is very diversity forward with speaking a lot of different languages. The food is different because they try to cater to a broader audience. That's not for everybody, though. There's some people that are like, man, this ain't barbecue, and these people are speaking a foreign language, and I don't like it. So it just depends. Again, a lot of things in life depend on your attitude and what you're up for, and I'm always up for a good time. So there's not really a cruise line I'd kick out of bed, honestly. Let's see. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, we actually have a dude in Seattle that we use pretty regular to drive us around, so... but I appreciate the offer. Is Carnival too much of a party for teens? I don't know. Do the teens like to run? Look, if you take some teens that like to run around, they're going to find some other teens to ride around. Carnival's a party on all the levels. The adults like to run around. The kids like to run around. The teens like to run around. It's a lot of activity. So if you're not into a little chaos, it may not be your jam, honestly. Let's see. Miles Cameron, thank you so much for the super chat. Awesome, you were able to support Don. Yeah, you know, the funny thing, when I was inputting my cruises into the Cruise Globe, I think we met Don in 2018, very shortly after we started this whole thing. And I can't think of anybody who's been a better friend to me in the cruising community than Don. We've traveled together a lot, and we've done the YouTube thing together a lot. And I am always happy to help wherever I can, and so I'm glad to do that. So, yeah, I'm excited. Grumpy Old Fart, how do you find a last-minute cruise? Your Springstead friend, you just go online. I mean, I think I started looking at this 10 days ago or something like that, and you could pull up that sailing. Now, unfortunately, it was sold out, but that's all you want to do. And then sometimes the next sailing, the one after ours, has they're discounting the price. I guess there's still spots available on the one that starts on the 12th. And so it's cheaper than what it was when they first started booking it. So just go to the websites that you're interested in, or go to the itineraries that you're interested in, and start looking through the website. Or, of course, if you have a travel professional, we work with our friend Walter, who's on an Alaska cruise right now on Oceana. Where's Walter's Travel? Work with a travel professional, and don't waste your time. Get the travel agent. Just say, hey, travel agent person that I work with, find me a last minute cruise. This one we didn't go through Walter just because we were trying to work through Don to figure out what the schedule was and if he had any more rooms and that kind of stuff. Duck Cruiser, Don's movie channel is called Movie Related. Movie Related, because he does it. It's a pun, because he does it with his nephews, and they're all related. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do you guys like the tighter shot? I do miss these shelves, right? Like, so I haven't been using these shelves. I do like the fact that I got the La Lido Loca back in the mix. I finally got my Brito statue, that love statue that I got in Miami. The only thing is, it needs some more light on that, but I like the light right here. I like these lights. Which ship am I going on, Rhonda? Going on the Royal Princess. I've never been on that, so I'm excited. New ship. Be able to do a new ship tour. Never been on that one. And a lot of people say they love the Royal Princess. They love it. They love it. Our two best YouTubers are on our July the 5th cruise. Richard, who are you cruising with? Is Doug Parker going to be on there? Who are you talking about? I missed the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, it's over in the corner here. There's nowhere to put it in this shot, obviously, because I think the Eiffel Tower is bigger than these shelves, actually. It's 4 feet tall. What was your favorite theme cruise, Frank Fernay? I've been on 2. I've been on the Comic-Con cruise and the 80s cruise, and I like the Comic-Con cruise gooder. That was my favorite so far. There is a jazz cruise. I've been way into. I don't know how I got into jazz. It's a joke that my daughter Marissa and I talk about now. We say, what even is jazz? Hey, Dad, what even is jazz? I'll be like, Chris, what even is jazz? But I started with some bossa nova, gets Gilberto, and then I finally got into the 30s and 40s bebop, and then sliding into Miles. And before the show was on, I was listening to some Mingus and there's a jazz cruise. I guess I said all that to say there's a jazz cruise. I wouldn't mind trying that out. And then I'm still on the fence about maybe booking the Kevin Smith View Askew cruise next year in February. The only problem is it happens during my wedding anniversary, and somebody doesn't want to go on the View Askew cruise that's in the marriage with me. So I would gladly not cruise with Kevin Smith to spend the anniversary with Jenny B, but I'm just saying. Shane, thank you so much for the super chat. Here's some throwing around money. Look, I don't do that anymore. I don't go anywhere where you throw money. Oh, that's not what you're talking about. No, thank you. I'm glad to have some throwing around money. Some throwing around. Space Needle fireworks. Are they going to do that? That would be cool. I love Seattle. I won't have a car though. So last time I was in Seattle, we went up to Everett and went to Funko. I saw a video the other day where somebody was hunting records in Everett, Washington. And the record store was closed, and they were right next door to the Funko headquarters, and it brought back such a rush of fun memories of going to the Funko headquarters. But I'm sure there's got to be a record store downtown or something. Yeah. Indiana Sunshine loves jazz. What do you like, Indiana Sunshine? Who's somebody good to listen to? Let's see. What is your favorite ship you've been on since you cruise a bunch of lines? I'm still gonna say Oasis of the Seas. I think it was like my fifth cruise maybe. If there was only some way to track my cruises. I love it. I mean, you could replace Oasis probably with any of the Oasis class ships, but I like it because even though it holds a lot of people, the public space per person I think is better than most cruise ships. So you can go on that huge cruise ship with all of those people and not feel crowded. Maybe, maybe when you're trying to get into dinner at 5 when everybody else says you have to line up, but most every other time you can sneak off and find a place. And then the entertainment's insane. You've got an aqua show, which is a little Cirque du Soleil-esque the water show. They also have an ice skating show, and they usually have a Broadway show. I like the ones with Broadway shows better than just the homegrown shows. They've got a pub that has a great acoustic pub singer. They've got a piano place. So I don't know. I really, that ship offers me a lot of what I like to do on a cruise ship. And they've got great specialty dining restaurants, great sushi. They also have Starbucks, which I like that. And they have a casino. So I think my perfect cruise experience. Now, if I go to the right ports, I don't really like it. I'm kind of digging the ports lately. So I would love like an Oasis class that went to some interesting ports. But that's got to be my favorite. Adam, with the interesting question, I have stayed at the Edgewater Hotel. 1 year, Jenny B, the last time we went, that same time that I went to Everett, Washington, she booked the Edgewater Hotel, and we may have stayed in the same room that the Beatles stayed in. We stayed right on the water. There's a famous picture of the Beatles sticking their head out of a window at the Edgewater Hotel. We essentially recreated that video, that picture. It was nice, but it was kind of like it was expensive. So I don't know if I like it for the expense, but I don't know. The hotel that I'm staying at now is expensive anyways, like $300 a night for 2 nights, which that's what really stinks about pre-cruise stuff. Like the hotels are so expensive right now. It's annoying. Glamoli's, Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. Yeah, I've been trying to track down a record that I think is called that, Ella and Louis. Lewis. I guess I should call it Lewis. I always called him Louis, but I'm listening to a book that Ken Burns wrote about jazz. Ken Burns and a co-author. Of course, Ken Burns did the big multi-episode documentary on jazz, but it's Lewis. They call him Louis Armstrong. But yeah, I was listening to some Dizzy this morning. Dizzy Gillespie. Name one port that you haven't been to that you'd want to go to. Ephesus, and then I love the New Testament, and I love all the history of the spread of Christianity from Israel. And so I'd love to go to any of those places that were on Paul's missionary journey. And Ephesus is one where you can actually go see some historical sites. And then whatever the one that takes you to Pompeii. I just remember Pompeii from when I was a kid. So right now, a lot of my bucket list is still in the Med. Where do you go? Naples to go to Pompeii? I can't remember. I did have it on an itinerary one time, and it canceled out. That's a good question, though. Indiana Sunshine goes with whatever Spotify gives. That's a good one. I did not fix the whole Vizio Raphael. The maintenance guy said that he needs just like 4 or 5 hours. So we're trying to figure out if we can get it done before he leaves. I can show you guys. The office is a mess. The floor is dirty. Let me see if I can make this a camera, my phone. Tony's camera. Okay. You won't be able to hear me very well because I'm going to step away from the mic, but I'll show you maybe a little bit what I changed. Okay, so I moved the Kallax unit from under this painting, right? So imagine this is what the shot used to be like. You're kind of looking back through there. I don't know where I'm going to dance in this new one. I don't know if you can hear me at all. Let's see if we can move the mic. So yeah, so the Kallax, I moved it over there. Here's the ceiling, though. Look at that. Still a huge hole. So I'm going to have to move this out of the way so that they can fix the hole. Fixing the hole where the rain's coming in. Shout out Ludacris. I'll have to move this stuff around. Eiffel Tower still in the corner with Spock. And then this is just a proof of concept here. Of course, it's a mess, but going to use this for a podcast setup. So I still have to decorate all that. And then I'll go around the back. You can't hear me, but it's kind of the new setup. I don't know if that's... I want to get another one of these lights here, though, to replace the floor lamp. It's a WIP, baby. It's a work in progress. Let's get the other camera back. Yeah, so bit of a work in progress. I got to figure out, but I want to replace I want to bolt another light onto this desk and get rid of the floor lamp and do some stuff. Now, how do I get in the middle again? I don't know. Little Kenny G. Okay. Software setup. I just use Ecamm Live. I guess I can show you that real quick. Let me go back to my cell phone camera. So chat is over here. This preview window. So like I can go ahead and we're in preview mode. So I can go back to the camera. Oh, wait. Yeah. I think I can go back. Oh, I go to the camera here. So that's the preview mode. But see, down here is still down below is still what's live. And I can see the mic just to make sure, hello, make sure the mic's working. And then when I hit publish, I'm back. All right. There you go. Let's see. How are we doing on the likes? Oh, 779 likes. Please hit the like. It'd be cool. I haven't got 1,000 in a while. All right. Don't forget to submit for your Carnival shares on Princess. That's a good idea. I need to do that. Daughter went to Naples yesterday. Is Naples it for Pompeii? Yeah. I want to do that. Okay, yeah. If you're just joining, I trying to do my friend Don a solid. Plus, look, selfishly, I'm excited to get back out. But I am going to be flying to Seattle on the 3rd of July. That's, I don't even know, it seems soon. I need to start packing, next Thursday, 6 days. I fly out on Thursday to Seattle. I'll spend the 4th of July in Seattle. And then I will jump on the Royal Princess on the 5th of July. It will work out one of two ways. If Don is cleared medically to come to this cruise, we will meet up in Seattle and spend the 4th of July together. Maybe we'll see some fireworks, very reminiscent of our New Year's Eve in Sydney Harbor. And then we will go on a cruise together, and we'll be roommates. We'll be roomies, which really makes his trying to get an upgrade hopeful, so we can get a bigger cabin. But if he doesn't go, if he's not medically cleared to go, then I will be going solo. And my goal is just to I don't even know who's going on his cruise, but I know they have a nightly dinner. I don't know if he has some rooms set up. I'll have to get all that information from him, but really just to be there and just, I mean, I'm no substitute for Don, but a lot of people on his group cruise will know me, so at least I'll be there to be able to interact and at least try to make something of it. So, Stephen Kelly, thank you so much for the super chat. Me and the wife always watch every day and keep on dancing. Yeah, so with the new setup, the other thing I'm going to do, if you saw that table, I want to get a stand that I can put a TV on, because then I can change it for the podcast. So the screen could say Dilemmas for the Dilemmas podcast. But then if Jenny and I do the La Lita Loca cruise podcast, we could say La Lita Loca. So that's one thing I want to do. And then, I got to figure out a place to dance. I gotta dance. That's what Kevin Bacon said. Databetic, here's 1,000 pennies. Maybe I get 1,000 XPs. Yeah, what's going on with the XPs? Let's see. Top fans. Right now, number one with 125 XP is Stephen Towell. Frank Fuma, 70. I don't know how you get these points, but everybody's got some points, I suppose. Very cool. Question: are there excursions or places that you've not been or done in Alaska that you may be doing this time? I haven't really been that keen on the excursions, but of course, somebody mentioned it earlier. One of the excursions I'd like to do would be a helicopter to a glacier and walk around. I wouldn't even mind doing like a zodiac to the front of a glacier. That would be kind of cool. And then I'm interested in the salmon bake. I've seen that a couple times. I think that would be kind of interesting. So, let's see. Just trying to see if there's any questions. Thank you, Linda. That's a very nice sentiment. The sentiment. All right. Let me get a little drink. I wouldn't mind going whale watching again. I still have never had that same whale watching experience that we had the first time where the pod of orcas landed on us. That would be cool, but I've never had a bad time whale watching, so that's an easy one to do too. You just pop out at Juneau. I've only ever done whale watching at Juneau, and when we were at Icy Strait Point one time, they said it was real good over there. Of course, we're not going to be there. Maybe this is the time I try the full train ride. You know, I thought the half train ride right after COVID was kind of boring in Skagway. Maybe I ride the train to the top. I don't know. Let's see. Tony, are you looking forward to... Man, I am looking forward to a cooler destination. We went to Paducah, Kentucky, thinking it was going to be cooler. It was hot. And then we went to Indianapolis, Indiana, thinking it was going to be cooler. The problem with Paducah, Nashville, Indiana, it's humid there. So it was moist and hot. And so I was very happy to get back to Florida. Like, it's 100 here, but at least it's manageable. It was very hot. Debbie McCoy, thank you so much for the super chat. The funny thing is, in Indiana, I guess I'm not familiar. I only lived there for 4 years. I'm not super familiar with the breaded tenderloin sandwich. And right now on my personal TikTok, I have a video that's blowing up because I went to this place called Mug and Bun, and I got what I thought was a tenderloin sandwich, but apparently it's just a fritter, and there's a difference. And so there's a whole slew of tenderloin fans blowing up my TikTok just to tell me that it was a fritter. And so now I want to go back to Indiana and get a real tenderloin sandwich. But it was delicious, whatever it was. Matthew Hill, thank you so much for the super chat. Say hello to my mom, Sandy Hill. She has a medical procedure today and is watching from home. Hello, Sandy Hill, and hopefully your medical deal goes wonderfully. You've raised a wonderful son. I've heard nothing but good things about him. All that stuff he did when he was a teenager, he said he's very sorry for. And, and someday it'll all be good. And hopefully you're still not paying for that thing that you had to pay for that he did when he was a teenager. But hopefully your medical procedure goes well today. Thank you, Matthew Hill, for the super chat. He was super chat-yow. Tony, you and the Naughty Cruiser eat a baked Alaska. Oh, I do like baked Alaska. Mike, are you going? Are you on this cruise? That'd be good. Be good to see you. Dolores said, where did you learn to juggle? So, gosh, it had to be like the year was 1994. I was working on a broadcast degree at Volunteer State Community College in Gallatin, Tennessee. And I was forced to take a public speaking course. And the professor, Willie Williams, what a great guy. He had a great haircut, great glasses. He was a big personality. He was the instructor, and he was an adjunct professor, and his job was to demonstrate for us a demonstration speech, and he came in and he juggled. And I said, Willie Williams, sir, how did you learn to juggle? And he said, well, I used that book, Klutz Guide to Juggling. And so after I had that class, I said, I ended up doing Bananas Foster for my demonstration speech. It was good. I picked up the Klutz Guide to Juggling, and I was doing college radio. And so I stood in the DJ booth while songs played and learned to juggle. And the cool thing about Nashville was there was a juggling community there, and they would meet every Tuesday night in front of the Parthenon, which is a 1-for-1 replica of the Parthenon in Athens. And they would juggle. And so Willie Williams was there and a whole slew of jugglers. There was a guy that was on America's Got Talent that swallowed swords that was a part of the Nashville juggling community. And so, I juggled. I went to juggling conventions. I joined the IJA, the International Juggling Association, and this was really before the internet got big. And so if you wanted to learn new juggling tricks or see juggling, you would buy VHS tapes of IJA competitions. And I juggled pretty solidly for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and then moved on to do different things. But I would juggle with the church. I would do street performances in Nashville. But the neon balls that I juggle with actually, I guess, were the last gift my dad ever gave me, because he passed away in 1994. I got a little bit of an inheritance, and those balls are 80% return silicon balls. That means if you drop them on a hard surface, they will bounce up about 80% high of their, the height that you drop them from. And they're expensive because Brian Dubé juggling in New York had to make them, had to mold them. I think silicon balls are cheaper now just because of the process. But each one of those balls back in 1994 were $30 each. So my set of 5 bounce juggling balls, like $150, which was a lot for me in 1994. But yeah, that's probably more than you wanted to know about juggling, but that's the juggling story. Karen Hill, thank you so much for the super chat. Have some coffee on me. I hope all goes well, and Don makes sure he prioritizes his health. Yes, absolutely, Karen. I've said that to him, and I'm glad that your health is getting better too. I heart a lot of these comments, but I read every comment, and so I'm glad that you are healed up to the point where you can join in on the dance break. Thank you so much for the super chat. Stephen Kelly, thank you for becoming a channel member. How about that? Question, what date are you getting on the ship? Any openings last minute? I'm on the 5th, and it's been sold out. So if I wasn't sharing a room with Don, I don't know how I would have got on the ship. But yeah. There you go. Larry Fine. Oh, wait, that's Lyersville and Skagway has a salmon bake. Oh, yeah. There's some good stuff in Skagway. That Skagway Brewing Company, I think they have big pretzels there, plus that beer. I'm not a big beer drinker, but I am a big pretzel fan. And then there's a bakery there, and they had some like sweet bread or something like that, sweet cakes. I didn't have it the last time I was there, but I looked at it longingly like this. Maybe I'll get that this time. I don't know. Matthew Hill said that the mom is doing great and almost fully recovered from your child. Yeah, I think my mom would say she's recovered from my childhood too, but I don't know. I'll have to ask her. When I see her. I was going to say something else. I can't remember what it was. I don't know. Anybody excited about the Carnival loyalty program? That thing was wild. It was wild to only do one news show for a week, but I was having so much good time with my kids and stuff. Like when we got there Friday, I was like, well, I probably should make a video, but then, my kids are like, let's do something together. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to hang out. Skagway has a historical red light district. Not anymore. That one place that I went that had the peep show or the burlesque show, they closed down. So I do like the idea that town almost, represents a full like gold mining town from the early Yukon days. But yeah, they don't have that anymore. Victoria Lugli. I'm saying I butchered that. I'm sorry. I watch all your videos. Thank you for keeping us informed. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you watching it. Question, how do you think visas will affect Europe travel in the UK? So right now it affects the UK that you have to have a travel authorization. And we've seen people denied access to cruises. When we were in Portugal, we saw somebody get pulled out of line and held by security for a long time just because of travel visas. So if you're traveling to Europe, if you're traveling to the UK, definitely to the UK, the Europe, the EU stuff hasn't come online yet, but it's supposed to this year. Make sure you know what your travel requirements are. But if you're going to the UK at any point in your cruise, you're going to need that ETA, that travel authorization. It's really easy to do. It took 5 minutes. There's an app on your phone. I think they ask for your passport. I think it costs $13. Don't sleep on it. Do your kids enjoy cruising? The ones that have done it have. What do we had? 2 of our daughters have cruised. And I think in 2026, we'll definitely have some more of our kids cruising. Cruising was kind of a thing that Jenny and I did after our kids were out of the house. It was kind of our empty nest thing. Because back 23 years, and I guess, are we 22 or 23 years, Jenny? We blended 6 kids together, and they were all little kids. And so for the most, like the earliest parts of our marriage, we just were holding on for dear life, trying to get these 6 kids to adulthood and out of our house. To be honest, look, what I tell my kids is there's always a place for you to be. Like if you need a room or a place to sleep or food to eat, I have a place in my house for you, but I don't want that. That's what I tell them. I don't want that. And they know. And so once we got them all out of the house, we had to figure out something to do on our own. And the lovely Jenny B said, let's go on a cruise. And I'm like, I don't know if I'll like it, but let's try it. And I loved it. And the rest is history. Let's see. So, yeah, maybe we'll get 2 more of them next year. We'll have to see. Which cruise line is best for the solo traveler? Kim, I like the lines that have solo cabins. Norwegian has a really nice solo studio, and they have events nightly for solos. Most cruise lines have events nightly for solos, but with Norwegian, they have a dedicated area for that. I've also cruised in a solo cabin on Royal Caribbean. Not all of their ships have it. I think that's good. I'm not sure. You're just looking for cruise lines that don't charge a solo supplement. There's been some other cruise lines that charge solos more than 2 people, which is, I think Celebrity was getting a little grief for that. So, I would look for something where the solo supplement's not crazy, and or if they have a solo cabin. Norwegian and Royal come to mind. Bob King, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for the update. Glad to do it. I like this Friday show. I sat down before I started moving the office around. I was like, okay, let's do the cruise show. I was pulling up news stories and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? Maybe we'll just do a live show, just get back in the flow of it. So I kind of like an afternoon live show, and I'm glad everybody showed up, and it's fun to talk to you guys. So very exciting. What is, Stephen, I don't think I understand your question. Jenny says, reminds me of the song, Looks Like We Made It. Shout out Ludacris or Barry Manilow. I guess I don't want to mess everybody up on the live show. B. Bergs is going on the group cruise in October. Yeah, that's going to be fun. We sent the word out to Princess through Walter to try to get some rooms. We're hoping to do a private karaoke. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward. That's going to be a great cruise. It's going to be a cold weather cruise. I love going up the East Coast. I can't wait to do it. Looking forward to meeting you, B. Bergs. Let's see. Celebrity has a small number of solo cabins. That's something to check in. John, thank you for the kind words, man. How's the thyroid journey working out? Man, my thyroid number was perfect. It took a little while in the beginning to figure out when I should take my daily thyroid medicine and then when to take the rest of the medication that I take so as to not mess up the effectiveness of my thyroid medicine. But the last time I did my blood work, my thyroid was right in the sweet spot. So it's been going pretty good. The scar's healing, and I feel a lot better than I did when I had that massive disease thyroid in me. So got quiet over here. It's getting hot in the office. The wild thing with that roof being wide open, like heat just pours into it, and then I'll run the AC to fight it off. Pulfrit Singh, I'm going on Ovation of the Seas to Cabo next week. Any advice? Cabo San Lucas, man. San Lucas. It is beautiful there. I've been there a couple times. I did an excursion that did 3 or 4 things. So if you can see it, if you can get a boat that goes out to the natural arch, it's very cool. And if they'll take you up the coast, you can see sea lions. Then I went to the interior of the country, or to interior of Cabo, which is in Mexico, so I guess in the interior of the country. And I went to a stained glass museum. I don't think I ever made a video showing that stained glass museum. I did make a video for NCL that had footage of that stained glass museum, but this was long after I did. It was before I did it with NCL. Stained glass museum or workshop, really. It was really cool. And then they took us to a city where there was like shopping or something like that. But definitely the arch. And if you can do something like that stained glass, the interior of Cabo, that if you get deeper off of the coast. This is going to sound stupid. It was stupid when I said it to myself. I was over there in Cabo, and there's like the landscape over there. There's a lot of cactus. It's a lot different. So, wow, cruising on the west coast of Mexico is a lot different than cruising on the east coast, which is an absurd statement because anywhere that you go, the east coast and the west coast are different. But do something where you can see some of the land over there in Cabo. Is really nice. Carrie likes it for snorkeling. Yeah, I don't do much snorkeling or diving, but the water was nice over there, so I could see that being true. Yeah, the sea lions were cool to see, Heidi. Problem with Cabo is the tender port, and it takes way too long. Yeah, that's my advice for tender ports. Book a shore excursion, and then you can get priority. I know that's not great, but that's what I would do. Have we been glass blowing? Yeah, Crystal, we did glass blowing. I like to go to see glass blowing any chance I get. I love the Chihuly stuff in Seattle. They've got a museum in Tampa. But Jenny and I blew glass on the Celebrity Equinox. Like, we made glass pieces. I've seen glass works in Cabo. When I was in Italy, I saw the Murano glass blowing factory. I feel like I've seen, anytime I can go see glass blowing, I like to do that. I love that artwork. Anybody still voting? 39% Alaska. Come on, change your votes. We can make it number one now that I've revealed. Lori says we're cruising out of Tampa for the first time. Any recommendations where to stay? Sadly, Lori, for us, we live close enough that we don't stay anywhere, so I don't really know any good hotels. Anybody got any good hotel recommendations in Tampa? Are you driving or flying? If you're driving your car, though, the one recommendation I would do for Tampa is use the valet parking. It was so nice. It was so nice. Yeah, Beth, the last time I was in Seattle, I went to the Chihuly. It's oddly similar to the one in Tampa. Yeah, B. Bergs, it might have been the same place. I'm drinking sparkling water that has lime in it, Liquid Death. I don't know. It's just kind of a marketing thing, but I do like the taste of it. Liquid Death. Severed lime. Just 20 calories. I guess I got some artificial sweetener in there to give the lime flavor. Did I get the ceiling fixed? No, it's so the air conditioner's up there, and there was a catch tray that broke, and water filled the ceiling. Hopefully next week. I talked to the building guy. He said it's only going to take a couple hours, so I don't know. Must do excursion in Nassau. I don't know that I've ever excurted in. Well, I did do an excursion one time in Nassau. I did the Grey Cliff Chocolatier, the John Watley Rum Factory, and something else. There's a lot to do in Nassau by foot, like on my own, under my own power. I went to the Pirate Museum there, which was nice. There's a lot to do. Fish fry. Never been to the Queen's Stairwell. The straw market's there. We took a water taxi and went over by Atlantis to the Margaritaville. I think most of the stuff I've ever done in Nassau has been self-propelled, third-party excursion or whatever. But stuff I'd avoid in Nassau is I wouldn't like rent a scooter off the street. That seems a little sketchy. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff to do there. A lot of cool stuff. Eat some conch. Some old duels. Yeah, I don't drink non-alcoholic beer or really much alcoholic beer either. Orange Cone Vlog said that the Embassy Suite by the Convention Center was good in Tampa. I'm assuming Tampa. Embassy Suites, yeah. Man, we've been staying in Marriott's. So we stayed in a Courtyard, which was nice, and the first place that we stayed in Paducah was nice too. Question, is the 90 days before sailing when final payment would be due a good time to... That's what I believe, SL. I always suggest that if you're looking for a last-minute cruise, try to look around the final payment date. Some cruise line, not all cruise lines are 90. Maybe some are 120. I don't know if anybody's 60. But yeah, if you got a sailing that you're hoping to get on, give it a day or two after that because they cancel out people that didn't pay, so... Coro player, just seeing this, did I miss? Yeah, so I've said it a couple times, but I'm going to do my best to help out our friend Don with his group cruise. It's going to work one or two ways. If Don is medically cleared to go, then he will be there and we will share a cabin. If he is not medically cleared to go, then I will go and be in a cabin by myself. And I'm just there to be the clown, I guess. Just there to host the people and share some dinner, share some space, share some interaction, and we'll go from there. I won't be able to help with anybody's travel or problems or anything like that, but I'll be there to to be the entertainment part of Don, I guess. So But yeah, and then if he is medically cleared, then we'll be there together doing the normal stuff. I'll be there to cheer him on in the Yes No Game show, and you get two for the price of one on your group cruise if Don is able to go. Sweet Bread in Skagway. Yeah, that's what that place is called. I got coffee at that place or coffee next door to that place. I think it was coffee next door to that place, but I'm tempted. I'm tempted to find the Sweet Bread. Vicky Bridges we'll see on the cruise. Thanks, Wally. I love clowns, so it's definitely not a disparaging thing when I think of myself as a clown. I just think of I'm there to entertain, make people smile. But Wally, always in the comments every day. Good to see you, buddy. Of course, I met Wally on Coco K. Longest solo cruise I've ever been on, Hilly on the Go. I think I was 26 days on the transatlantic or something. I think that's the longest I've ever been away from home by myself. Pack those juggling balls. I always do, Mary. Like, I always have this idea of like, oh, it'd be cool to juggle. I can juggle 5 balls for maybe 10 or 20 seconds. Like, if I was really serious, I would work on getting that 5-ball pattern, the basic one, to where I could do it 30 seconds consistently. I do have some nice, I don't have them here, but I do have some nice pink bean bags that aren't going to bounce everywhere. Those silicone balls, you could destroy stuff. Like that's why I usually only do 3 balls in the air. Sometimes I think I have juggled 5 in the air with the silicone during the dance break. But if those things kiss each other, or if you don't catch them, they will destroy stuff. They're heavy. But I do have some bean bags that are not as deadly. I always think about taking those beanbags places and like juggling in front of the Sydney Opera House or juggling. Maybe I will. Earl, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm really hoping Don is going to be okay. Yeah, me too. I'm a big Don fan, so I kind of hope he's going to be all right. 30-minute juggling show. That would be interesting. Back in the day, for sure. Sharon, teach them how to juggle. Yeah, I don't know if I'm up for juggling teaching. Flaming bowling pins. Yeah, so I guess this is an interesting thing. The actual name of things that look like bowling pins are called clubs. So if you want to be in the know with jugglers, they're called juggling clubs. And then the ones that you set on fire are called torches. And I do have juggling torches. Maybe I should record a fire juggling show. But the interesting thing is the way that you learn to do tricks with torches is you learn to do them first with clubs. I can't find my good juggling clubs. They got to be in the garage. The ones I'm using were like some Dillard's $12 Christmas gift that you give the kids. They're the lightest, most unbalanced clubs, and I really can't do much with them, but just the regular 3 cascade pattern. But I almost feel like investing in some new clubs, getting a little club routine together, and then being able to transfer that into a fire routine. I think that'd be kind of fun. Linda, thank you so much for the super chat. Enjoy Alaska and hi to Don. Thank you. B. Burks, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Let's see. I've never cruised. Can you get deals by booking last minute? Sometimes PVB. The cruise that is after the one that I'm going on the 5th that starts on the 12th. When I was looking to get on the 5th, I thought that I pulled up the Princess site, I pulled up Royal Princess, and I saw last minute, discounted price, sailing soon. I thought that was for the 5th, but then I looked and it was for the 12th. So certainly, I think if you went to the Princess site right now, you might get a discounted price. So I think you can do it. Any chainsaws for juggling? I've never juggled a chainsaw, but again, the concept's not hard. If you can juggle 3 clubs, you can juggle a chainsaw. Most of the time, people that juggle chainsaws, they're just doing one. I don't own any juggling knives, but the concept's the same. Once you get super comfortable doing a 3-club routine, you can mostly transfer that to fire or chainsaws or knives. It looks scary, but, and a lot of times jugglers will play it up, but most of the time it's not that bad. Tim Yak, can you go to a bowling alley and buy some of their pins? You could, but you wouldn't really want to juggle a bowling pin. They're not really weighted in the right way for rotation, and the handle, you want good handles to hit your hands and stuff like that. Please don't juggle chainsaws. And then, I think the reason that the clubs do resemble bowling pins, but then back in the day for exercise, people used to swing clubs. They called them Indian clubs, and those look like bowling pins, and those are weighted. They're not really for tossing, but they're more for swinging, and people used to do that for calisthenics. And I think that was the genesis of the juggling club, was a variation of that swinging pin, swinging club. Let's see. Don't juggle a chainsaw. Yeah, it's not bad. Let's see. Name of travel advisor. We use Where's Walter. Let me give you the link. I haven't popped that link in there. We do get some commission if you use Where's Walter using our link, so please use our link. Let me pull that up. Where's Walter Travel? We do have a couple group cruises coming up with Walter, one in October, and the very first cruise out of Philadelphia for the first time in like 20 years. That is next April. April is in your mistress' face. Any English Madrigal fans out there? July's in her eyes. Oh, wait, that's the wrong link. Tim Yak, it is time for a dance break. Please send in your clips of you guys dancing. I don't know how I'm going to dance in this scenario. What am I going to do? What will I do? Travel partners. Why is this bringing up YouTube? Where's Walter? Walter Travel. La Lido Loca. There we go. Copy. Boom. There you go. Book your travel right there. Oh, Jenny B did it. Thank you, Jenny B. Thank you, Jenny B. How about juggling medicine balls? Look, anything that you can throw in the air and manipulate, you can juggle anything. Favorite superhero, Johnny Luke says, it's got to be Spider-Man. I think that's the comic I read most. I do love Wolverine, but I'm a Marvel guy. But yeah, Spidey. I love the whole reason behind Spidey. It's just good stuff. Where did we stay in Paducah? Homewood Suites. That's what it was. I had to see it in my mind's eye. Steven, I actually did set one of my roommates' houses on fire one time. That was a joke for a long time. It wasn't a bad fire, but I did melt some siding and stuff. Oh, no. Adrian sprained their ankle. Get better. All right, did we get to 1,000 likes? Let's see. Wow, how did I open up all these windows? Oh, yeah, 1,000. You guys rock. You guys rock the Casbah. No, Cora Player, haven't opened up I'm so stuck because I've been getting so much. I've had so many great vinyl hauls. I've been going to all these different record stores. I've been taking footage, but I haven't made any videos, and I have not opened up that paper bag that I got in Indianapolis. 6 albums for $5. Is there going to be anything good in there? I can't imagine. I just feel like it's going to be bad $1 Goodwill stuff, but I don't know, but I feel like I should make a video. That's why I haven't opened it up. But then my Lego room, listing room, is a mess, and so I feel like that's where I should film it. But that's where I've been sitting, like working with my records. I should just make a video. Any thoughts on the Survivor 50 cast? Parker, I'd have to look it up. But I am excited because I think the next Traders cast will include Russell Hantz. And anybody that's a Survivor fan will be excited to see Russell Hantz in any other show. But Traders, I think, is going to have Russell Hantz. I did see something that I don't know if it's true or not. I saw somewhere that said Nick Cannon is going to replace Will Arnett on Lego Masters, which I don't think I like that as a choice. And I'm not sure how I feel about Will Arnett's mustache this year, but it's interesting. I need to know what's in the bag also. Parker, who are you liking on Survivor 50K? No Boston Rob, right? I don't know who we were looking at. That last season of Survivor was pretty good, though. I thought what was the guy's name that won? I thought he played I don't want to spoil it. You should have watched it by now if you're a real Survivor fan. But I thought the winner definitely deserved it. I got one more move in Wingspan. Jenny, you know I'm going to win this game. No, we're tied. Every day, Jenny and I play a best out of 3 series, and we both won one game today. Russell was cut from Traders or cut from Survivor? Traders is a Raphael. Traders is a really interesting social game where you can lie and deceive. We play this game at home called Resistance, where everybody's good guys except for a couple bad guys, and then they cause chaos. Traders is very similar. Russell, yeah, Russell's not everybody's cup of tea. He was a hardcore player, and he's interesting to watch. It's definitely chaotic. It's so funny when they talk about Survivor and like old Survivor, new Survivor. A lot of interesting game theory goes on in that game now. It's pretty good. That's right, Bill. I'm going to be shaking hands and juggling babies. No Russell on Traders. Man, was that incorrect information or that he got dropped? Databetic, it could be like Werewolf. I've never played Werewolf, but whenever I introduce anybody to the Resistance game, they go, oh, this is similar to Werewolf. So, Boston Rob. Oh, Coach. Yeah, Coach is good. He's going to be on there. I think he's on Survivor 50. I do believe Russell has mental problems. I guess we shouldn't lay that on somebody, but I could see that happening. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's just, I don't know. Yeah, Raphael, he played a great game. Oh man, well I take it back. Watch Traders anyways, but man, Russell would have been good on there. Reginald's heading to Japan on Tuesday. What's the one thing you can recommend? So it's been a long time since I went there, back in 2019. The challenge for us, we were on Spectrum of the Seas, and there were only 100 Westerners, and the rest were mainland Chinese, and so we had very limited excursion options. So check your excursions and see if you have a robust offering. If not, you might want to look at third-party excursions. But it seemed like every day that we went excurting, half the day was good and half the day was bad. I really enjoyed when we went where we docked at Yokohama, and we went to Japan, and we went to the temple. That was amazing. And then I guess Osaka was a really good day because we went to Osaka Castle, and then we went to Dotonbori Street. And what was cool is we were just recently watching The Amazing Race, and one of the pit stops was in Osaka, and it was so cool to see the bridge. Like, there's a video of Don and I looking across the same bridge that they did on Amazing Race. I really think I don't know what makes travel great, but it is really neat when you see people experiencing other parts of the world that you've gone to, and you're like, I know exactly what that's like. But yeah, Dotonbori Street in Osaka was amazing. One day was horrible though. We did like the Emperor's Palace. That was a bust. We did some sort of inclined railroad. That was kind of a bust. So yeah, look for something interesting. I was very new to traveling. That was like my 8th or 9th cruise or something. And I didn't have a lot of experience out of the country. That was my first time off the continent. I probably would do it differently. I probably need to go back and do it differently. But just find some stuff that looks interesting to you and do that. And they were so nice in Japan. First cruise in November. Number one tip: make sure all of your travel documentation is in order. Make sure you've got either the birth certificate or the passport. Make sure that you have, when you go to the cruise terminal, make sure that you've printed out your boarding pass. All of that stuff will stop your cruise before it begins. So that's why it's the most important tip. Number 2, make sure that you have travel insurance, because nothing's a problem until it's a problem. And those problems are expensive. If you get injured, if you miss a port, if something gets canceled, those are expensive without travel insurance. That's the number 2. And then the number 3, go on the cruise ship and every day look at your program, your schedule of events, and tag 2 or 3 things that you would like to do, but then allow yourself not to do them all. The whole goal is to know what's going on and make sure you do some things that sound interesting, but don't worry about it if you can't do everything. But what's worse is if you don't look at that schedule and you miss out on some really cool events, you'll go home with some regrets. You'll miss out really on that cruise experience. But yeah, keep those things in mind, and I think you'll have a great cruise. Let's see. Any tips for Princess? I like the Premier package. I think, it's $90 a day, which is a little expensive, but if you use the internet, you're going to pay gratuities anyways. If you like specialty dining and you don't want to worry about what you're spending on drinks, you can easily get to $90 a day paying internet, paying gratuities, eating at specialty dining, and getting drinks. Look into that. Let's see. Any idea of exactly when New Carnival will set sail in 2027? No idea. Have an annual policy from Allianz. I still get the Princess travel insurance. Should I? And I still got, okay. Yeah, I mean, it probably never hurts to have too much. It only hurts when you have not enough. Yeah, Marilyn, I mean, that's if you're going to cruise, you have to think about motion sickness. That's probably the number one tip. I think that's fair. But hopefully that's a given. Hopefully that's a given. All right, do about 5 more minutes. Then I could go home and see my lady. Hey, baby. Question is, do I take tomorrow off and work on my record room? Or do I make a video tomorrow and take Sunday off? I need to do something one of the days. Got to decide. I guess I could do stuff both of the days. Question. We're going on the NCL Aqua in September to Bermuda out of New York. Any must-see or do's on the Aqua that you recommend? Yeah, go see that Rumors show in the big theater. I never got to see the Rumors show in Sid Norman because those venues are pretty small, and that show's so popular. Even if you don't like Fleetwood Mac, the premise of the show is great. So outside of the NCL Aqua, Fleetwood Mac's Rumors album was created when there was a whole lot of drama in the band. And so Christine McPhee, I think's her name, and her husband John were getting divorced. So they wrote a bunch of songs talking about that. And then Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks were breaking up. They wrote a lot of songs about that. And so the way they work it out on the Aqua is they have a record player out there in the front, which I liked. Somebody drops the needle on Rumors, then the curtain opens, and then they start performing the songs in order on Rumors. Then they flip the record and perform the backside. It was a great show. And then if you like Prince, I would definitely check that show out. We ate at Rudy's Sea Grill. I believe that was the name of it. Try the stew that comes in the crab pot. Jenny made us get it. I didn't think I would like it. It was amazing. Yeah, it's a cool ship. It's very modern. It's very sleek. I don't know if everybody's going to love the design, but I liked it from a very modern aesthetic, and there's a lot of great places to sit. Yeah, enjoy it. If you're adventurous, try the Aqua slide coaster. Oh, Jenny said I should work tomorrow. Oh, I should stay home tomorrow. Yeah, I'm just going to work. I'm going to try to do it. Go to church and take Sunday off. I do like the funny thing for me, like if I'm thinking mindfully, like I want to take a day of rest, like good old Christian Sabbath day of rest, I prefer Saturday because I feel like once you get going to church and all that other stuff, it's kind of like you're working. And so I kind of like to go to church and work on Sundays more so than take the day off. But I do like Saturdays off. Excursion suggestion for Belize. It's unbelievable. I don't know what I've done in Belize. Anybody know anything for Belize? Is Chocchoban at Belize or is that somewhere else? I don't know. I don't really know at Belize. I would have to look and see what's there. I don't know. Anybody know one? Question, did you have a chance to watch The Poop Cruise on Netflix? What did we watch, Jenny? 15, 20 minutes? We tried to watch a little bit when we came home, but yeah, we'll have to watch the rest of it. Yeah, Bill, you didn't have to watch the live show to know that Jenny's always right. Live show from Alaska. Yeah, we do that sometimes too, Marco. I love doing some sailaways, or I think we actually pulled off a live from Glacier Bay one time if the internet was good. Zip line and cave tour. Oh, yeah, I think I did that. I think I did is that where the caves are? I did that. That was a lot of fun. I would definitely do the cave float. I shouldn't have been on the zip line. I really should not have, but the cave tour was amazing. Yeah, it was hot in the jungle, right? That's where the humid jungle was for the cave tubing. It was wild. So the cave tube, I guess it was whose cave? They used to do like sacrifices in the cave and stuff, and then there's bats in there, and there's like poop in the water, and I'm really selling it, right? But the guide was in the water the whole time, which is freaky. They just kind of drag you around in a flotilla of inner tubes inside the cave. It was pretty fun though. When's the next Lego? I haven't really been building much. I've been organizing my Lego stuff. I do have the Endurance that I would like to build. I've built some botanicals for Jenny, but I'm kind of in record mode right now. Record mode. All right, it's getting hot in here without the AC. That's the big. We'll do the big announcement one more time. So look, I wasn't going to cruise until middle of. There's an announcement in the announcement. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. I wasn't going to cruise until the second sailing of Star of the Seas on August the 20th. It's kind of like a birthday cruise because my birthday is the 22nd. That's when I was going to go back to cruising. Since then, I've added the MSC World America in early August, and then just last week, I think we finally got the last details just a couple days ago, that I would be on the Royal Princess cruising to Alaska with my friend Don. If he's medically cleared, he will be there with me. We'll be sharing a cabin. If he's not medically cleared, then I will be there in the same cabin with Don, and we will be hosting ourselves a group cruise, which will be exciting to meet all of the friends and family that come out to see Don, and I'll be glad to help in any way possible. But yeah, I got to pack my bags. I'm getting on an aeroplane on the 3rd of July. So thanks, everybody, so much for stopping by. Thanks for all of the kind super chats. Thanks to all of the new channel members. Thanks to everybody for all of the great questions. And I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their Friday and a fantastic weekend. This is Tony for La Lita Loca, along with the lovely Jenny B there in the chat. And, well, until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.